welcome to another junk journal with me. I'm starting off by showing you my May journal is already a gator mouth. It's not even half through. Oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm gonna do. And in the last episode, yeah, if you saw it, you know I made these pockets and I just wanted to show you. I made two more just for some more inspiration of what maybe you can do. I attached some dangly things on the top and a little tag on the left one. So yeah, just some more ideas I've done on the same way. So yes, but moving on to today's episode, I will be making an envelope pocket out of book pages, and these I have made following a tutorial by Treasure Books, and I will of course link that video below. Really nice channel, please go check it out. And yeah, so I followed that making these, and I've decorated them with some clusters that I had on the bottom, but of course since most of you won't have ready clusters, we're going to decorate it differently. So this is the book, which is one of my books from Goodwill. I really like the cover, and I got it because I thought maybe I will make a junk journal out of it and use the cover. But for this episode, we're going to use the book pages, and I chose this book because of the size of the book page and because they're kind of longer. If you go check out Treasure Books video, she has very detailed explanations about what works best to use for these and what to watch out for, and really good tutorial. So much more in depth than what I'm doing. So I've ripped out two double pages, and so one of them I have now torn a little bit, which is going to be the front side of the pocket, and the other one I have just folded over that to fold a flap. Now I'm just cutting this flap to be more in the shape of, I guess, an envelope, you can say. And so that is the basic shape. As I said, if you want slower and better instructions, please check out the other video. Here I'm just showing you, this is where you have, if you're going to sew this is where you have to sew first, and then you can sew around the bottom to attach the pages to each other, and then I sew around the top flap last. I do this differently than she does because I like the stitches, the front, to be showing on the front of that thing. So if you don't have a sewing machine, just glue it together. It really doesn't make much of a difference. I like the look of the stitches, so that's why I did that. So now I've sewn it together. Now I am, obviously, as you know me, I have to ink it. And I just want to say, so this is a different kind of inking that I usually do, because usually I would just hold it with my one hand and then just ink it on the edge with the other. But you saw this one time I was using a paper underneath, and I was doing it more flat, and that just gives it a different inking, a softer inking, as you will. And these are strips I have recently downloaded from Gail Augustinelli's Etsy shop. I will link those as well. Those were obviously digital downloads of her lovely embroidered strips, and they're so much fun to use. And so I thought I would use them on this envelope. And my plan was to close the envelope with one of these owl paper clips. These are fun as well. In the end, I couldn't actually do that, but you will see that later. And yeah, so now I'm just choosing some of her trims, and I'm going to make a little collage there, and just play around with that a little bit. And I'm gonna mix up the digital prints with some real fabric, because I always, as you might know, I love the mixture of those two. And of course I wanted to decorate that top flap as well. I really adore this piece of lace, which was I cut off from a tablecloth from a Goodwill thing, and that other strip you see there, the pink white one, is actually a cutoff from a dress I found at a flea market. So here I'm just cutting the shape to fit that top envelope shape. pinking that up. Bottom parts as well. And now I'm just gonna glue those down. And I'm also gonna glue everything down on the bottom. So for the paper I use my glue stick, and then for the fabric I'm just gonna use regular white glue. Ah, I love it. I really love it. The lace just adds so much to it. And next I also wanted some lace on that top part. So I have this self-adhesive lace, which I'm just going to use a little piece on the right there. Just like that. I love it. So now I'm trying to find a page in the book, but I believe first I am going to pick out a prompt, which is something a struggle or a victory last week, something like that. I didn't write it down, I'm sorry. In order to write about that prompt, I am again taking some book pages of the same book, and I'm just tearing those down because I'm going to actually make kind of like a tag on which I can then journal. So I'm just gonna tear those white bits off, and I'm going to be adding some coffee stained paper to the front side of it, which I'm also going to stitch, but obviously again you can just glue it so that I can write on that. And I'm gonna sew around that as well. I think I just said that, I'm sorry. And since it was kind of then disappearing in the pocket, since it was too small, I then decided to add a fabric tab, but actually before I do that, I tried a sari silk ribbon, which I totally didn't like, so I then fix it with the fabric tab. You will see that later. But I wanted to tell you what I'm journaling about. So I'm writing about a struggle I had last week, which was that if you're watching my videos regularly, you may have come across the one where I said I was linking a storefront from Amazon.com where you can buy the products that I use regularly. Well, the issue I had was that since I live in Austria and I have to sign in to Amazon.com with my Austrian address, it only gives me links to products that can be shipped to Austria. Now, most of my viewers are based in the US and Canada, so that doesn't make much sense. And unfortunately, they got back to me and said there is no way around it. So yeah, so that's not working. So no more storefront. And instead I will, as I've done previously, I will just include links for the things I use regularly instead of having a whole shop. But it's fine. I hope the value is the same for you, and because I get asked a lot of questions about what did I use here and where do you get this, and so I thought by just linking the products below, you have all the information you need there, and you need not use the links. You can just look at what it is and then order it somewhere else. It's really fine. I just want to make it easy for you to find what you're looking for. So here you see I made a hole with my crocodile, and now I'm adding an eyelet through the sari silk ribbon. And by the way, I cannot link the sari silk ribbon because the Etsy store I got it from is currently not selling it. So if you just search for sari silk ribbon on Etsy, you will get plenty of options if you're interested in getting some. They are lovely for so many things. So now that I've attached it, I realized it's so floppy attaching it like this, and I really didn't like the look of it. So since I can't really take out the eyelet anymore. I just tore off that sari silk, and so that's now when I decide to attach the fabric tab instead. And I used two different pieces of fabric here, and I tried to make it work out with the envelope, the style of the envelope. So here I have these two pieces, which I'm just gonna sew together, and then I'm gonna glue it onto the tag like this. So here I've just sewed it, or sewn it, and I'm just gonna take my white glue and glue that on. And lastly, very importantly, I wanted to say I have gotten requests about to do like a video like to get to know me better, and that's a great idea. I'd love to do that. So I need your questions. Please send me questions in the description box below on what you would like me to answer, and I will try to get to as many of them as I can in one of my upcoming videos. So yeah, I'm happy for you to get to know me better, and I love when you comment and I find out a little more about you as well. So yeah, so that's the pocket. And so then I'm gonna check in my journal where I wanna attach it. So I'm looking through my pages, and I wanted it to be one of those map pages because they're quite big and the coloring works well with the pocket. And I was gonna put it way in the back, like, yeah, I think that was the last page. I was gonna put it there, and then I realized that if I attach it with glue, actually I don't know why I just didn't paper clip it on. I could have done that. For some reason I didn't think of that. I just thought of gluing it on, but then of course I can't use the paper clip thing because that'll be glued down. So I decided to use the sari silk ribbon, the pink one, to close it. So now I could glue it, but then I thought it's too close to the back where I already have a pink ribbon holding that other folder closed. So I just moved the whole thing up to the front to another map page, and I'm gonna do it that way. And I can't believe I didn't think of not even gluing it down, but just attaching it with a paper clip. I could have left it there. Sometimes I don't know what's going on in my brain. Anyway, it looks cute, but of course with the ribbon, it adds so much extra bulk. Like, no wonder my journal is such a gator mouth already because of all the things I'm putting in. So I am very curious as to how this is going to look in another week or so, and how I'm going to close it, because at this point I really don't know. Anyway, so I'm just cutting those ends a little bit. And now I'm just going to show you again what it looks like. And there you go. That is today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you got something out of it. And hope to see you in the next one. And please send me your questions. Thank you. Bye.